Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the procession of graduates, faculty, and platform party.
All right, please take your seats. President Wente, faculty and staff, family and friends, graduates of the class of 2025, welcome. It is an honor to greet you and to preside over this year's hooding and commencement ceremony for the Wake Forest University School of Law. As a short matter of housekeeping, I would remind everyone to silence their cell phones and please be courteous to those around you by remaining seated when taking photographs during the ceremony. I have attended many commencement ceremonies during my career. This is the second time that I've had the privilege of standing before a graduating class as Dean of the Law School at Wake Forest University. I've come to know many of you over the past 2 years, and I could not be more proud to celebrate this occasion together. I know that my colleagues behind me feel the same way, and I hope that you feel proud. Today marks the culmination of years of hard work and accomplishment, as well as a significant step in your professional lives. I use the word step because it's my view that you actually joined the profession the day you started law school. In fact, as I noted to our entering class this fall, that from their first day at Worrell Professional Center, each student at our school was assuming a responsibility to society, an obligation to ethical behavior, to public service, to upholding a system of laws that truly does form the fabric of our society. Now, by now, you've probably discovered that people view you through a different lens because of your connection to the legal profession. Perhaps you've heard the occasional lawyer joke or maybe something worse. Lately, we've heard a lot of reference to the famous line from the character Dick the Butcher in Shakespeare's Henry VI. The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. But as others have noted, Dick the Butcher was not exactly the hero in that play. Indeed, he was part of a plot to overthrow the rule of law. In truth, far more often throughout history, you'll find that others look up to lawyers, recognizing the special power that we have to be forces for good. A number of years ago, I read a really outstanding book. It's called The Devil in the Grove. The book was written by a man named Gilbert King. It actually won the Pulitzer Prize for nonfiction in 2012. This book recounts the story of a young Thurgood Marshall representing 4 young men in a North Florida town called Groveland in the late 1940s, and these 4 young men had been wrongly accused of committing a heinous crime. Thurgood Marshall, of course, is one of the most important figures in American history. Many of us know him as the person who successfully litigated Brown versus Board of Education, the Supreme Court decision that declared public school segregation to be unconstitutional. We also know him as the first black justice on the United States Supreme Court. But as a younger man in the 1940s, Marshall worked for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund in New York City, and he traveled all across the country, sometimes under very dangerous circumstances, representing victims of discrimination, and in the case of those 4 young men from Groveland, something much, much worse. Now, one thing struck me early in the book, and it's something that has stayed with me ever since. It was a quote from one of Marshall's assistants about how Marshall was received by community members when he came to their towns. This is a direct quote from his assistant. She said, "They came in their jalopy cars and their overalls. All they wanted to do, if they could, was just touch him. Just touch him. Lawyer Marshall, as if he were a god." People looked up to Thurgood Marshall not just because of who he was as a person, but because of his profession. That they recognized that when injustice needed confrontation, when people needed an advocate for what was right, even under the most difficult of circumstances, it was the law, and by extension, the lawyer to whom they looked. You are now a part of that, part of a tradition that includes some of the most important people in history, but also a tradition that includes thousands of lawyers who work every single day protecting people's families and businesses, helping counsel them through every imaginable issue in life. You are also part of a group that enters the profession from a very special institution, the Wake Forest University School of Law. Our school's history stretches back 130 years, and we are an institution that has graduated an enormous number of outstanding lawyers, many of whom are remarkably accomplished leaders and public servants all across the country. Now, of course, accomplishments won't come easy. Just like law school, professional life is rigorous, and there will be time that you feel the pressure and stress that goes along with building a career and holding positions of responsibility. But I could not have more faith in a group of young people going forward in this world and succeeding than I do in all of you. So again, I am deeply, deeply proud to share today with you, and I look forward to all that you're going to accomplish in the years ahead. I am now pleased to invite Wake Forest University President Susan R. Wente to the podium to bring you greetings on behalf of the university. Dr. Wente?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Dean Klein. It is truly my honor to welcome all of you, and especially the Wake Forest University School of Law Class of 2025. Woo! You made it. Whew. A really well-deserved and hard-earned congratulations to all. Through years of study, writing, research, trial, and error, you are prepared for this moment. As Dean Klein would say, you're prepared for this step. There are many steps and there are many moments ahead of you in your legal careers. Now, as you know, it takes a community for a student to successfully complete graduate study. It is my sincere hope that you have found support, encouragement, and community in your time here at Wake Forest. Your families, your friends, your loved ones, your former teachers, your mentors, in fact, every community that you have been a part of since before you arrived here has prepared you for this step, for this moment. And then while you've been here, all who have continued to support you with love, with patience, with encouragement, have made this experience possible. And together, they allow you to enter the legal profession as a proud Wake Forest graduate. I want to take this opportunity to thank your friends, your family, your supporters, your law school faculty and staff who have made this journey possible. And graduates, I would like you all to stand now and turn and face the audience and show them your sincere thanks and gratitude also. Yes, success in the practice of law is never truly an individual endeavor. And however you choose to use your legal education from Wake Forest, I am certain that you will be called upon to collaborate, to be creative problem solvers in community with your fellow attorneys, with your fellow coworkers, as well as with the communities that you serve. Wake Forest graduates are especially well prepared to do this, for you have gotten a legal education in an environment steeped in our shared commitment to pro humanitate, our university motto that calls us to learn, to excel, and to work together for humanity. As I look out at this group, I do not know exactly what brought each and every one of you here and what led you to choose your particular career path, but because you chose Wake Forest, and because Wake Forest chose you, I do know that each of you are creative intellectuals. Your skills and knowledge, your relationship building skills in particular, your passion, put those to good use now to fight for good. As the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. The legal profession needs you. The world needs you to bring others to the table, to be leaders of character, bridge builders, fueled by a spirit of service and a deep caring for the humanity of others. On behalf of the university, congratulations, graduates. I know you will make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Wente. We appreciate your being here with us for this special time of celebration. I am now pleased to invite Justin Combs, a member of the class of 2025, to the podium. Justin was nominated and selected by his peers to bring remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Justin?
Nomination is a stretch, Dean Klein, but happy to be here. Wow, it is so great to see everyone back on campus and here to celebrate such a monumental accomplishment, graduating law school. Here we go. I want to thank President Wente, Dean Klein, Dean Marsh, Dean Taylor, the Wake professors and faculty, our family, friends, and loved ones who have traveled from across the country and are here to support us today. And most importantly, in my completely unbiased opinion, the greatest class to ever walk the halls of Worrell, the class of 2025, for giving me the opportunity to share a few parting lessons before we are released into the world to go and do great and powerful things. But first, what a difference 2 weeks make. Last time I saw some of you, the fog of finals was still circling. Now, everyone looks so refreshed and, dare I say, happy to be here. Even Mark Lee, who I talked to earlier, and I'm pretty sure just came from the second floor study rooms and might head back there after graduation, made time to come. The excitement and palpable energy in Waite Chapel bring me back to orientation week 3 long years ago. I remember looking around the Worrell courtroom then, intimidated and unsure of what I had gotten myself into. My intimidation grew as the week continued, as our class was separated into our respective sections, and chance was somehow firing off the different elements of negligence to a stunned audience of Section 3 before we ever had our first horse class. My wife knew what a gunner was when I went home later that evening. There were less jarring moments, of course, like bumping into my first friend at school, Meredith, who exuded and continues to exude a cool calmness that helped me in navigating that first week. But looking back, that first week was all quite the experience for me, to say the least. However, as those early days of law school have turned into weeks, months, and now years, a funny thing happened. These classmates that I was once intimidated by, or unsure of, or didn't know, they started to morph from a group of strangers to a tight-knit community to now a family. The shared bonds of the cold calls, the long evenings, and the panic that would inevitably strike for the Professor Carty disciples when our weekly quiz came around with some outlandish hypos that our more adventurous classmates would attempt to rationalize with him on how it made no sense. Or the Professor Parks section when he released one of his group assignments that meant your weekend was now a crash course in the contours of civil procedure. Or even our very own faculty member of the year, Professor Davis, who would gleefully announce that we should only be getting 60% of our quiz questions correct. much to the dismay of the type A individuals who had never gotten anything worse than an A in school. I was not one of those students, but I didn't realize it at the time or as we went through the trials and tribulations of law school, but these, at times painful experiences, brought us together and will keep us together long after we spread out across the world doing exciting, transformative work. This togetherness that has morphed into an eclectic family of graduates here today makes me most happy as I look back at law school. As you all look back on your time here, I hope everyone can think back to a moment over these past 3 years where they felt that sense of family. Whether it was a classmate picking you up after a tough day or a professor supporting you through the fears of finding a job. For me, I vividly remember when Wake Law became more than a legal education and about family. My wife and I had our first kid in law school, which was an experience in its own right, and a month before he was born, my classmates came together with our legal writing professor and got us a gift card and a few gifts for him. Here were individuals who spent their time, energy, and money, all three of which are in short supply in law school, to help my family. It was for no other reason than this group coming together to celebrate a significant life milestone with my wife and me and wanting to share in that experience. This is a powerful thing. It illuminates the character of individuals we have in our class, the dedication that Wake professors have, not just to cultivating learning experiences, but in caring for us as individuals, and also to the collective character of a Wake Law graduate. Each of us can extrapolate this feeling of family to their own experiences with our classmates and professors throughout our time at Wake. We have been somewhat insulated from the real world at Wake Law, where we are fortunate to have a community that gives us the time and freedom to become fine legal scholars and better people. However, as we walk out of Wake Chapel today and leave the safety of Worrell, we are charged with a powerful task, taking the lessons learned both in and out of the classroom and applying them to an unpredictable world. This is an exciting endeavor and one I know each of us will meet with the same compassion and grace that we have shown to each other over the past 3 years. Having saved what Professor Murphy frequently called the most important class in law school, professional responsibility for the uninitiated, until my last semester, it is fresh in my mind that lawyers have an awesome power to change lives, to fight for the rule of law, and to be advocates in and out of the courtroom. I've had the pleasure of learning, growing, and being inspired by our class, and I'm so excited to see all the great things we accomplish. Finally, as I was writing this speech, I saw a feature about the Duke women's basketball team and Coach Kara Lawson. It, of course, went against my sensibilities as a Carolina undergrad and now Wake Law alum to talk about a Dookie, but she had a saying that I think fits well with our class: handle hard better. Coach Lawson said that we all wait in life for things to get easier. However, it will never get easier. What happens is you, the class of 2025, will handle hard better. Our degree is the culmination of a lifetime of hard work, but make no mistake, it will not get easier from here. We have all become individuals who are able to handle hard things in life deftly and attack any challenge in front of us. Once we leave campus, our hardest tests will remain in front of us. The path each of us has taken to be lawyers has allowed us to have one of life's great gifts, a meaningful pursuit of difficult work. This work will never and should never be easy. However, with our family, with the education we've received from Wake Law, and with each other, we are well equipped to handle hard better. Thank you, and go Deacs.
Thank you so much, Justin. For graduation ceremonies, Wake Forest University School of Law recognizes the academic excellence of graduating JD students through Latin hours bestowed on them based on 5 semesters of law school. These Latin honors are cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. The prospective graduate with the highest grade point average based on 5 semesters of law school is named presumptive valedictorian of the graduating class. In recognition of that achievement, we invite the presumptive valedictorian to introduce our keynote speaker. I am pleased to introduce Trinity Chapman, our presumptive valedictorian of the class of 2025, to introduce our keynote speaker. Trinity?
Professor Timothy Davis is the Bess and Walter Williams Professor of Law at Wake Forest. Professor Davis teaches and writes about contracts and sports law. He has co-authored 7 books and published numerous law review articles. He serves on the Board of Directors of the United States Anti-Doping Agency and the Board of Trustees of the National Conference of Bar Examiners. He also chairs NCBE's Contracts Drafting Committee and is a member of the American Law Institute. In 1998, Professor Davis joined the Wake Forest Law faculty. He has taught contracts, sales, sports law, and NCAA rules compliance and enforcement. Unfortunately, I've never taken a class with Professor Davis, so I asked some of his students for their thoughts. His students talked about him as the type of professor who truly enhanced their law school experience. Chance Villarreal told me that Professor Davis's contracts class was his first ever 1L class. Chance said that sitting there on that Monday morning, he almost immediately knew that he had made the right decision to go to law school. Professor Davis is a mentor and an advocate for his students, and he genuinely cares about their learning and well-being. Sheridan Eckers said that he cares about student outcomes and success, but also checks in with students to make sure they're doing okay. She said that he went out of his way to say hi to students in the hallway and make them feel welcome. He put so much care and effort into teaching, and even took the time to write an entirely new contracts exam in one night after a fire interrupted our 1L Contracts 2 final. According to his students, Professor Davis always shouted out his wife, Ida, his better half. Several of Professor Davis's students remarked on how smart he is and how he can recite most of UCC Article 2 from memory. Professor Davis has undoubtedly made Wake Forest Law a better place through his knowledge and instruction, and also through his kindness and character. Now introducing Professor Timothy Davis as the 2025 Faculty Member of the Year.
If I was in class, I wouldn't have to look at notes, as my students know, but, but I'm not in class. I need to read my notes that have been prepared for today. Graduates, colleagues, family, friends, good afternoon. And to the Wake class of 2025, thank you. I am humbled that you have honored me on your special day. As you come to the successful close of your legal career, I am delighted for each of you. I know the commitment, dedication, and hard work it took for you to achieve your goals. I feel especially fortunate to have participated in the law school journey with many of you. For some, I merely had a conversation with you. For others, our time together may have been a bit more intense, as it included an exploration of the elements of an enforceable contract, when the statute of frauds operates as an effective defense, express conditions in the clearly written UCC provisions relating to the battle of the forms and the parole evidence rule. I especially appreciate your indulging me while I took pleasure in explaining how a discrimination index of 0.5 was amazing in the context of multiple choice questions. Just as you arrived at Wake Law well prepared to begin your legal studies, you now leave Wake prepared to enter the legal profession and to apply all the skills you have learned, as well as those that you'll acquire in the future. In law school, you learn legal doctrine and develop your writing and analytical reasoning. You also develop trial and transactional skills. As important as these skills will be to you in your legal career, I hope you learn how critical it will be to complement them with strong listening skills. I encourage you to cultivate your listening skills and to commit yourselves to truly listen to others. Because you will leave here very knowledgeable and well-trained, there is the possibility that you will not always listen as carefully as you should. Some of you who are in Section 1 of contracts may recall the following scenario. A student would ask a question. Rather than providing an answer out of context, I would say, please be patient. We will cover the topic in 3, 4, 5 weeks. After this 3, 4, 5 weeks later, I returned to the question that into the student who had asked it. After the student appeared surprised, I would typically say, I remember your question because I listened to you. In making this statement, I was not trying to impress the student with my memory. Rather, it was my subtle way of demonstrating that I had listened to that student because I valued what the student had to say. To listen intently and authentically to another person is a gift. It is indeed a way of valuing the person, and for some, it may provide the first true opportunity they have ever had to be heard. So as you prepare to enter the legal profession, I encourage you to listen to your clients intently and authentically. Doing so will foster trust and effective communication between you and them. This, in turn, will better equip you to understand their interests and goals and to address their legal issues. Remember, one of your roles will be to give legal meaning to client problems, which requires effective communication, a part of which is listening. And please listen intently. To quote Judge Denise Hartsfield, listen to your clients not only to understand what they are saying, but what they are not saying. As a close friend who is a counselor says, when I listen, I'm always aware of the overt message, but just as important is the meta message. That is what is not being verbalized. This message is often what needs to be addressed or explored. But exploring the meta message begins with listening to what is verbalized. Similarly, listen to your colleagues, because doing so will foster the type of collaboration that makes for successful and effective legal teams better able to address client needs. Whether as a newly licensed attorney or an experienced attorney, listen to learn. The process of legal education does not end when you leave law school. I hope we have equipped you to be lifelong learners, and listening is one of the skills that will assist you in being such a learner. Many of you will be actively involved in your communities. Most of you will serve on a committee or a board that will address legal and non-legal issues. Because of your training, you may quickly identify the pertinent issues and propose solutions, but be careful. Make certain that other members of the organization are able to voice their perspectives. Be mindful of your role as a member of the organization and make certain that you are not taking up too much space. Collectively arriving at a resolution will increase others' appreciation because they would have had the opportunity to have been heard. Moreover, listening to different perspectives enhances learning and understanding and may result in you modifying or even abandoning the solution you initially thought would be the best way to resolve the matter. Moreover, listening helps to develop trust and will help you to be a more effective leader. Finally, listen to your internal voice. It is the voice that encourages you to stay up a bit longer so that you could read a case assigned for class the next day or to proofread a lawyer memo one more time. It is the inner voice that motivated some of you to continue your legal studies while you silently dealt with emotional and other challenges that caused you to question whether the price was too high to continue in law school. It is the same inner voice that will lead you to make wise decisions and will discourage you from engaging in ethically questionable behavior. It is also that inner voice that imbues the wisdom of parents and grandparents, your legal training, including your ethical training. So listen to that internal guidance system that will assist you in practicing law and living to your highest capacity. In closing, I thank you for honoring me and for listening to me. I wish you much personal and professional success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Davis. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to work with outstanding colleagues like you and all of my colleagues behind me on the stage. Well, now is the time we've all been waiting for, the conferral of degrees and presentation of our graduates. I would ask President Wente to again join us at the podium. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science, SJD, please stand and remain in place? President Wente, it is with pleasure that I present these candidates to you on behalf of the faculty of the law school for the conferral of their degree.
By the virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of Dean Klein and faculty of the School of Law, and upon successful completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Juridical Science.
Thank you. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Laws, LLM, please stand? President Wente, it is with pleasure that I present these candidates to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Law for the conferral of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of Dean Klein and faculty of the School of Law, and upon successful completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Laws.
Will the candidates for the degree Juris Doctor, JD, please stand? President Wente, it is with pleasure that I present these candidates to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Law for the conferral of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of Dean Klein and faculty of the School of Law, and upon successful completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Juris Doctor.
Thank you, and you may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Master of Studies in Law, MSL, please stand? President Wente, it is with pleasure that I present these candidates to you on behalf of the faculty of the School of Law for the conferral of their degree.
By virtue of the authority granted to me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of Dean Klein and faculty of the School of Law, and upon successful completion of all degree requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Studies in Law. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, President Wente. Candidates are now asked to come forward as directed by your marshals.
Now presenting candidates for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science. Rawan Haidar Almaki. Nuha Al Said. Ali Hassan Moafa.
Now presenting candidates for the degree of Master of Laws.
Gabriel Bellestrine Frizzo. Amy Mbenga. Matthew Reed Solentic Cardoza.
Now presenting candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor.
Marshall Joseph Adkins. Connor Richard Aldridge. Faiza Ali. Tamara Allen. Abby Alling. Eli Maxwell Allison. Marie Celeste Anderson. Mary Catherine Alexandria Aponitis. Lauren Elizabeth Appleby. Asha Lacey Armistead. Fiona Eileen Aramando. Eric Ayers. Mary Catherine Baker. Kian Bashi. Caitlin Beckham. Dick Beekman. Marin May Benarad. Evan Brady. Brielle Brown. Daria Elizabeth Brown. Tomasz Jan Budzin. Naomi Bugorski. Corinne Caggiano. Jordan Carlson. Tanner Cava. Trinity Joy Chapman. Andy Choi. Allison Ann Christian. Brian James Clark II. Remy Clodfelter. Tierica Coleman. Jessica Lee Colon. William Coltzer. Justin Combs. Madison Elizabeth Cone. Robert William Dighton. Jackson Thomas Dew. Hannah Doherty. Leah Doyle. Lily Drake. Miriam Camille Funk Draper. Tessa Driver. Sheridan Ecker. Jalen Ellington. Tristan Erickson Kales. Jonathan James Filburn. Justin Fontaine. Emily Grace Franklin. John Christopher Fresco. Remy Elizabeth Gaines. Gavin Garcia. Sydney Paxton Gentry. William Gilchrist. Emily Gillen. Meredith Gillespie. Beatrice Goodyear. Russ Gore. Richard Hall. Keith Howard Hammond. James Stillman Hansen, Jr. Lane Harrell. Amy R. Harriman. Christian William Harrison. Alexis Sage Hellner. Maeve Margaret Hickey. M. Alexander Hosmar. Lauren Howell. Edaway Ida Hoare. Jordan Ignat. Jasmine Jaffe. Myra Ashton Ginny. Julia Johnson. John Robert Sissel Kinney. Creighton Knight. Cooper Koenstam. Alexandria Marie Krusniak. Harold Jeffrey S. Langner. Daniel LaRose. Matthew Ledbetter. Mark Lee. Liu Zehui. Caroline Rose Long. Caitlin McGuire. Melanie Alexis Mahabir. Mackenzie Elizabeth Matthews. Alexis Catherine McCall. Amelia Giovanni McClure. Noah Foster McDuff. Nicholas Lath McDuffie. Vincent Malera. Serge Melnik. Heath Miller. Kristen Sky Milosh. Peyton Isabel Mitchell. Sarah Payden Mobley. Samantha Ann Mondello. Lauren Evangelina Mounts. Landry Browning Moy. Dunbar Myrick. Ethan Norris. Julian O'Donnell. Ted Orr. Jacob Michael Padillo. Catherine Grace Palmer. Christine Margaret Pangborn. Carly Page Patton. John Embry Payne. Kano Perforce. William Walker Phillips. Caitlin Elizabeth Pieknik. Mason Plesko. Hiram Poplin. Jolie Helton Pringle. Richard Samuel Pulitzer. Nicholas Robert Rader. Jack Reynolds. Zachary Rice. Colin Ridgel. Caitlin Elaine Ridley. Ryan Tyler Robinson. Amanda Renee Roundtree. Shannon Rowe. Kelly Ann Ryder. Aaron Scales. Jacqueline M. Saris. Clayton Andrew Shupak. Sydney Alexis Simmons. Andrew Maximilian Sample. Ethan Sparks. Carrie Stotsberry. Madeline Catherine Strome. Victoria Riddle Surati. Brittany Schofield Taylor. Peyton Michaela Taylor. Amber Lee Thompson. James Peter Traister. Eliana Maria Samsoris. Ryan Valerio. Davis Van Inwigen. Michael Aaron Vermeulen. Lathan Verwood. Vincent James Chance Villarreal. Nick Walters. Tom Ward. Zanab Warich. Joshua Watkins. Kanisha Michelle Watley. Benjamin Worf. Caroline Ellen Wilson. Lauren Woodis. Catherine Nicole Wooten. Crystal Yates. May Zaytouni.
Now presenting candidates for the degree of Master of Studies in Law.
Edward Adams. Moses Terrell Adgers. Danielle Aiken. Logan Allen. Noelle Ann Barlow. Joseph Bell. Pamela Bolton Lyons. Tristan Lahisa Bruton. Shanna Cotman. Betty Phillips Coulter. Connor Curtin. Brett Dunkel. Unique Troy Edwards. Jasmine Issa. Tanaya Hayes. Summer J. Holbert. Nikki Johnson. Marie-Josée Michel Lefebvre. Marshall Chisare Ndlovu. Maria Oliver. Rena Christine Ramnarine. Christopher Francis Sloyan. Colin Barker Starks. Ashley Vines Ivy. Loretta Ann Weissner.
I know we all clap, but how about one more round of applause for all our graduates? It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Kate Hatcher, Chair of the Law Board of Visitors and JD Class of 1995, to bring greetings on behalf of the Alumni Association and to administer the graduate oath.
Good afternoon. Let me be one more person to offer my sincere congratulations to each of you in the class of 2025. I also want to offer you congratulations and extend our warm welcome from the Wake Forest University School of Law Alumni Association, of which you are all proud members. As you enter the next chapter of your lives and your professional careers, I encourage you to remember the motto of Wake Forest University, Pro Humanitate, and strive to be catalysts for good. By virtue of your Juris Doctor degree and your Wake Forest education, you will be recognized and asked to lead, whether that be at your place of employment, on a not-for-profit board, or even on the Wake Forest University School of Law Board of Visitors. As the leader that each of you undoubtedly is and will be, please use your platform to set the tone, be the role model, share your talents, and give back. Stay connected to this wonderful law school and support it whenever you can in its many endeavors. I now have the distinct honor of administering the graduate oath. The graduate oath, which is located on the back page of your program, calls on each of you to go out into the world and do all the good that you can with the responsibilities that you have been given. Will all the graduates please rise and repeat after me? I do solemnly affirm that, to the best of my ability, I will use my Wake Forest legal education to support the equal and just administration of the law. To advocate for laws that respect the dignity and equality of all people. To represent the interests of the underrepresented and the ignored. To work for and support changes to broaden and strengthen democratic participation. To uphold the ethical standards that govern my profession. And to discharge conscientiously my obligations as a member of my local, national, and global community. Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome to the ranks of the alumni of Wake Forest University School of Law.
Thank you, Kate, and congratulations again, graduates. You now join more than 8,800 living alumni of the Wake Forest University School of Law. Our alumni are throughout the country and the world with representation in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and 43 different countries. As you leave today, our newest alumni, please accept once again congratulations from the faculty and administration of the law school and university, as well as our best wishes for the years ahead. We hope that all of you will stay in touch with us, participate in alumni events, and return to Wake Forest for a visit whenever you can. I hope that all of you will also join us at the law school for a light reception following the ceremony. A golf cart shuttle will be available for those with limited mobility outside the doors to my left and your right. I now ask everyone to stand but remain in place while the platform party, faculty, and graduates recess. Let's give one last round of applause for the class of 2025.